My name is Timothy Dziedzic. I am a Ukrainian American. In April of 2022, I went to Ukraine to help deliver humanitarian aid there. It was during my first real college semester at American University, with all the COVID things going on and all of the war breaking out. It was a large change and shift in what I thought life was going to be. Most of my family is still in Ukraine. A lot of my friends are in Ukraine. A lot of them my age. At the time I was 19 years old, and those guys were being sent to the front lines. And I felt like this kind of sense of uselessness in comparison. I mean, I was in America. I was enjoying going to school. I was going to college, having a girlfriend, all of these fun things. And then I would see videos of my friends or people that I knew struggling, fighting on the front lines. And I needed to do something. For the most part, it's my own mortality, thinking just about going to a war zone, especially when, you live in such comfort. And I think like breaking from that mold is definitely something that it's so hard to do, to get out of your comfort zone. But I saw like this overwhelming sense of joy with the people who were trying to support, bringing about money for the purchase of humanitarian aid. We went to local police departments, and they were so willing to help us, giving us riot gear, giving us different military stuff that they had that were now decommissioned, bulletproof vests. And we even reached out to local schools, kindergartners, were writing letters in Ukrainian to these soldiers. This humanitarian effort wasn't exactly a large organization effort. It wasn't something more refined like Red Cross or anything like that. It was kind of just my family, some local Ukrainians and Polish people that we knew, coming together, and they really wanted to make a change. So the stuff that we were able to provide for the people of Ukraine, it was a mix of things. Like I had said, the military gear from the police forces, and those letters. And I think that those letters were probably the best part of it. That was not the extent of everything we brought. We brought a lot of money for goods, for food for the people. We brought medical supplies for local hospitals in Ukraine. Just anything was of need for these people in the darkest moment. You don't even realize things like socks. A lot of people just, they're always moving around, especially the warriors, the soldiers. And a comforting socks are really valuable in those times of like stress and turmoil. I don't think that you can prepare for the event that I was going to see, or the things that I was going to see. And although my mind was ready and I was motivated to go into Ukraine and I was motivated to deliver those things, it's kind of when you cross into a war zone, it's like the toothpaste has come out of the tube and you can't go back. I felt this sense of dread in the people around me. I felt the thumb of a dictator with a missile strike at any moment coming over. There's not really a way you can describe it to someone, how it feels to be in a land of war. But once you're actually there, it all changes. So any preparation that I did do was completely undone the second I walked in there. When you're actually there, you see people going around their daily lives. They're still civilians, right? They still have jobs. They still go to cafes. But all of it is not the same. I was in Ukraine many times when I was a kid. It was always a land of music and fun, great food. And although those aspects were still there, it was like we were living in a muted world where instead of the music playing, there was nothing in the background. There was nothing to drive that sense of hope any further beyond just some inkling in the back of your head. When we were leaving Ukraine, we left in a hurry. We were supposed to take a train out the same way it came in. But unfortunately, the train had been delayed because there was strikes nearby the day of. So we went through the border, through the common border into Poland. We were driven there by some friends of my family. When we got to the border, that's when we really saw how much love the world was giving Ukraine. Almost every single country had a tent set up. There was also a guy, a French man. He was probably my age. He did not speak a word of English or a word of Ukrainian or anything. And I met him, me and my dad, we went up to him and we were talking. With the little English he knew, he was able to explain basically that although he didn't have any skills or experiences, he was excited to help in any way he could. And I hope that the people, if they want to make any change, anybody who's watching, anybody who's seeing the news when it comes to Ukraine, or any of the other acts of violence around the world today, when they see it, what I would ask them to do was to understand that although tomorrow it won't be on the headlines anymore, those people's lives still changed. They are permanent scars.